Sorry, I was mute. Okay, so let's start again. Okay, so hey, welcome. It happens, yeah, sometimes. This is my second webinar of the day, so I'm a bit like, hey. But okay, let's start again. So my name is Noéline. I'm very happy to be here with you today. I work at Alliance Française de Montréal. So hi, Patsy, also. Thank you all for being here with us today. It's my pleasure to actually introduce you to our program. Maybe some of you, I haven't really checked who's here or not, but maybe some of you came last year. So if you're here again, it means that you enjoyed it. So it's so cool to see you again. What can I say? Yes, I am helped today, supported by my colleague, Kelly. Maybe some of you know her already, but so she's in charge of the courses here at Alliance Française de Montréal, and she will answer the questions you may have in the chat. So during the presentation, I'm not going to take questions, okay? I'm going to take questions at the end, but you can type them in the chat and she will answer the questions, okay? So it can be anything related to the program, be it the visits or the courses or the enrollment process or whatever, okay? But don't hesitate, please. I'm here today. We are here today to actually answer your questions and let you know about our program here in Montreal. So let's start. I guess you can see my screen with the immersion francophone. It will be in English, okay? But yeah, at the end, if you have questions in French and you want to practice a little bit, you can actually ask it in French too. I'll be happy to answer. Okay, let's start. So I know you're from Vermont, most of you. So I am pretty sure you've already traveled to Montreal at least once in your life, but maybe not. So here are a few pictures of the city. The one in the center is our Alliance Française in Old Montréal. So it's a nice building, an old building in the old city of Montreal. So it's very central and it's nice and beautiful and very easy to get to with public transportation. And we'll see a bit later, but a lot of accommodation options are available in this area. So it's actually quite nice. We love the place. And so, 2 weeks ago already, we opened our cultural center on the first ground, and it's quite a big room where we can actually have things happen, such as films or parties or workshops, a lot of things. So we're getting bigger and we have more options to actually create and host events in our place, in addition to the floor we already had with the several classes. But yeah, so welcome to Montreal. Welcome to Montreal. Bienvenue à Montréal. Let's go. So for those who are not familiar with the concept of an Alliance Française, apart from the one you already know in Lake Champlain region, we are, of course, a member of the global network of French Alliance. So it's a global network. It exists in Canada. There are 10 of us in Canada, more than 100 in the US, and many, many more throughout the continent. Till, I don't know if they have one in Ushuaia in Argentina, but maybe. They have many in Argentina, in Chile, in a lot of places, and also throughout the world, be it in Africa, in Europe, obviously in France, in Asia, and also in Oceania, on the far side of the world. So we are both part of the same network, and that is why we're here also today, because we collaborate, okay? We share things together, we share intel information, and a lot of practices also to make our teaching better, to make our events better, to also make the general experience of learning French and the French cultures better. So that's important to say it at the beginning. So Montreal, as I said, surely, I'm pretty sure you've already come to Montreal at least once in your life, but it's okay if you haven't. That would be a good opportunity for you to discover it. So I am a bit of a reminder here. So Montreal is the biggest French-speaking city on the continent, okay? And one of the largest, actually, French-speaking city in the world, after Kinshasa in Congo, Paris in France, Abidjan in Ivory Coast, Yaoundé in Cameroon, and Casablanca in Morocco. And so you see that there are only one European French city in this list. The biggest French-speaking cities actually today are on the African continent. And Montreal is still a big French-speaking city. Quebec, also the national capital of Quebec, is a big city, around 1 million people, but Montreal is much bigger. So it's a good way for you to practice. Montreal is known for its vibrant cultural life. It's one of the best cities for students on the continent. It's not one of the best or the best city for arts and culture in North America. And it's also, according to the Lonely Planet, it's for what it's worth, one of the best city in the world. And it's actually pretty true. It's really a nice city. It's quite affordable, not so much, not as much as it used to be, but still, it is an affordable city for you coming from the US with your American dollars. It is still interesting to come to Canada. So let's say it's quite affordable for you. The city is worth visiting because of its strong identity and its very vibrant and diverse local culture. It is truly a mix of European and North American heritage. It has some visuals that are very similar to what you know from the US. It also has a couple of places and a ce je ne sais quoi that is very European in a way. Like we love being outdoors on the terrace, sipping coffee in the summertime. People have a strong interest in food. A lot of cultural things are going on. It's a very it has a European way of life. That's why we here, I think, us as French people as well, because it reminds us of home. Okay, but still with a bit of exotic touch to it. And of course, it's a crossroads of communities. So you have, of course, European people, a lot of French people, and also people coming from the rest of the French-speaking world. So many people from Africa, from Ivory Coast, from Cameroon, also from Haiti or from the Caribbean, and also like a lot of people coming from overseas so it's super interesting because you have access to so many cultures in the same place at once. And that's why we love Montreal, and that's why it's a city worth visiting. So welcome to Montreal to improve your French. You can see Kelly here on the picture on the left, teaching, and there's Patsy also. We can see her back. And so welcome to Montreal to improve your French. I've already said it. It's one of the largest French-speaking city in the world. And it's not just a fun fact about the city, okay? Some people are actually quite surprised when they know that some people actually never speak English here. And on the other side, there are some people who never speak French here, depending on where they live on the island of Montreal. There are some very English-speaking communities, but they're quite far from the city center. And you have a lot of like old French neighborhoods in the city. I live in one, for instance. I never speak English in my life. And yeah, that's how it happens. So it's a good place for you to come, visit, and practice your French. So it's also a defining feature of the identity of the place. And I think you improve by a large volume your experience if you speak French and if you're able to actually understand what's going on. And also it will give you access to a lot of different festivals and cultural activities and a lot of things if you can speak French to at least an intermediate level. The obvious that for you coming from Vermont, it's way closer than going to Paris, Geneva, Brussels, Marseille, or Abidjan. So it's quite easy. It's the accessibility to come to Montreal from Burlington or anywhere else in Vermont is, I mean, it's, you know, it's very close, and you have a border to cross, but still it's quite easy. And also for those who may be a little bit afraid of the Quebec accent, because it happens, okay? Yeah, of course, in Quebec, you have Quebec people, okay? With their very sweet accent. Of course, this is the dominant accent here in French, but you have so many French communities here, French-speaking communities, that you may have access to a lot of different accents. French from France, some people are from Switzerland or from Belgium. You have a lot of people coming from the Caribbean. It's a specific accent. People coming from Africa, it's also a specific accent of French. It is French, okay? And once you've reached a certain level in French, the accent is not, it's not a big thing anymore. It's not a, you know, you don't care about it. So that's also the positive thing about Montreal, is that you will have access to all these people, should you want to, of course. And that's, I think, a good thing. Here you can see two classes, as I said, with Kelly teaching one of the classes from last year in the Artist Week. And so what you don't see on the picture is that it was very, according to her and also to Patsy, who is here today, that it was a very like enthusiastic interaction between the different students, and a lot of debates, a lot of discussions about art and the city in general. So that's what we aim at doing here. And I will explain a little bit more afterwards what's actually going on in the class. So what is it? Immersion francophone. It's a 5-day program. To put it very simply, it's French classes in the morning and cultural activities in the afternoon. In the morning, you will have a 3-hour class with a break, of course. We're not monsters. And the main focus is the focus on oral practice, okay? The second focus is Quebec and Montreal culture. We're not here to talk about what's going on in France, what's going on in Cameroon, what's going on in the Caribbean or in Belgium, okay? This is not the purpose here. You're in Montreal, and we often notice that people don't know much about Quebec culture and Montreal culture, which is quite an oasis in the middle of a larger English-speaking territory. And so that is why we want to put the focus on that specific culture. But of course, it's free to, you know, go deeper and bigger on other things, depending also on your teacher. You may have a teacher who comes from here, but also someone who's maybe from another place, another continent. So it's always nice to have like these interactions and share of knowledge and experiences. So the focus is on the oral practice. As I said, is very important, because I think this is what we want. We want you to speak throughout the day, from morning to night. And so make most of your time here with us at Montreal to experience French. And it's what we want. So you will focus in the morning through on French, like speaking French, of course, through activities that will require from you to use some, you know, conjugations and some structures and some specific vocabulary. So that is why it's a class, but not like the usual classes you may have at Alliance Française de Lake Champlain region, because it is not with a book, for instance. It's more like general activities that we will have. Maybe sometimes we start with a text on a specific topic, and then, or it can be a video or an audio document, and then we start like talking about it and understanding it, so that you actually learn things and you implement them, you know. And so that's the main goal of this program. And in the afternoon, you will have activities. So it can be guided tours of Montreal. This year, quite a novelty, a cooking workshop, as well. And museum tours. This year, we'll try to experience other also museums. Some we liked, yes, last year, and we were very happy about what they offered. So we're gonna go back to them, trying to actually have different sorts of visits. So it is not a repetition of what you had if you came here last year. So you can see a couple of visits here. What I didn't say, sorry, is that these are small groups. You can see on screen. Usually in the class, if I go back, this is the maximum we will have. So it's like 6 to 8 people maximum, because our classes are not bigger than that, and it's not comfortable for anyone, not for the teacher, not for you. So we want to keep it small, and also that will make sure that everyone can have a say, everyone can talk, everyone can have access to the teacher, can also get to know the other people, because this is what it's about. Also, it's about making friends and getting to know people, getting to know their realities, and using French as lingua franca. So using French as a means of expression. Okay. So this year, we offer 4 levels. Last year, it was only 2-ish. Last year, it was A2, B1 mixed together, and B2. And this year, we have the 4 main levels. So A1, A2, B1, B2. A1, A2, for those who are not familiar with the scale, it's the beginner's levels. So A1 is very the starting point, okay, of French. And B1, B2 are more intermediate and advanced. And so we divided them. We divided the themes, topics, and we divided also visits, because obviously someone who is a beginner in French will not have the same understanding as someone who is already a B2 student. And it makes it boring for the B2 student and hard to understand for the A1 student. So that is not the goal, okay? Nobody's happy. For A1, A2, the topic will be, it's quite a general one, but it enables students to actually express themselves and understand a lot. It's Art de Vivre Montréalais. So for those who are not familiar with Art de Vivre is the lifestyle, okay? It's like it's an art, we say in French, of course. So it's all about gastronomy, cooking, cuisine, leisure, Montreal landmarks, daily life. So what you do in your daily life, like using the transportation system, telling about your day, in all that. And the focus is always about Montreal. So it means that we are going to explore all this and talk about this, but always starting from something Montreal. So it could be, I don't know, an activity with trying to discover the city and, using directions, for instance, or talking about the menus in a restaurant. And so we talk about the ingredients, the food, and we will start maybe with a menu of an actual restaurant that maybe later you will go to, and have dinner there. So that's the thing. For A1, what we ask is, we won't accept people who have zero knowledge of French, because it is not a starting class. It's a class made for people who are already familiar with the present tense in French, who already have a bit of vocabulary about food, leisure, daily life, who are able to say, today I've done this, today I do that, today I do this. I wake up at 6 and I go to bed at 9, for instance. That's what you're supposed to do in the A1 level. So that's for the A1 level. For the A2 level, of course, you have a good mastery of this, a good command of the present tense. The vocabulary is kind of the same, but you have more. And you also know about the past tense. So you're familiar with passé composé and imparfait and future tense. It's okay if you're not an absolute master of these tenses, but it's for us a requirement, at least to know about it and to be able to use it, even imperfectly, because otherwise you won't be able to say anything about what we are doing in class. So that's the thing. For B1 and B2, it's a bit more of this, okay? Usually people know if they are in the A levels or in the B levels. But yeah, we have several themes, topics that we will discover during the week. We have three themes, and each week has a different one. Okay, so you can come 3 weeks if you want, and you will always do something new, study something new, and practice something new. So for B levels, it's about history, Montréal, hier et aujourd'hui. It's about science, sciences et nature, science, technology, environment. We're going to talk about Montreal as a very important place for video games, for AI, for also like the climate change, for instance, and a lot of this, and also the specifics of the environment here. But it's quite similar to what you know in Vermont, but it's also very like how we deal with snow, for instance. Again, that's very important here. So that could be things that you may see in class. And of course, the very popular Montréal Artiste, about arts, museums, artists in Montreal and Quebec, and the cultural life in general. So we are going to new places this year as well, and we are also going to have different topics from last year, okay? So yeah, that's what we want to do this year. So some activities. So far, I'm sorry just to say that I cannot give you a fixed definitive schedule. Okay, so it's more what I can tell you is that we are likely to go back to Habitat 67. We're likely to go to a couple of museums that we loved. As I said earlier, there will be a cooking workshop, and or depending on the week, maybe a tasting, wine and cheese tasting, for instance, from Quebec. So these are the things that we have in mind, and also guided tours of some neighborhoods in Montreal. And the thing this year is that the A levels and B levels will be separated. So, as I said, it will be adapted to the general level of these people and not too complicated or not too easy for the more advanced levels. So you can see here a couple of pictures of Montreal and the famous bagels from Montreal as well, and a general view of the city if you don't know it already. So here you can see a couple of visits. You can see me here. I was with Patty again. It was like the visit of the Musée des Beaux-Arts, the Fine Arts Museum. But we went to a couple of places, and it was very nice. So yes, was looking forward to it once again. So once I've told you about the classes and the general activities, I am going to talk about the accommodation. So we are not, unfortunately, maybe it will change with the years, but we are not a travel agency. So we can only recommend hostels, hotels, Airbnbs, or if you have friends or family here. We don't book them for you. We don't arrange anything for you. We can just tell you that there are a couple of those around the Alliance Française. We are in the Old Montréal, which is a very touristy place in Montreal. So we have a lot of hostels, and accommodation available here. So that, unfortunately, we cannot do it for you. We cannot arrange it for you. And this year, we we have an exclusive partner who is a very famous hosting family provider here in Montreal. A company that works with a lot of universities here and colleges, so they know what they're doing, and they can provide you stay in hosting families, French-speaking hosting families in Montreal. You can choose the duration of your stay. If you want to stay just the week of the immersion, it's up to you. But if you want to stay 3 weeks and just have a week with us at Alliance Française and then stay 3 weeks with the hosting family because, I don't know, you liked it, it can be possible. You have to ask and you have to pay, of course, but it's possible. And there are different options available as well. So like private bathroom, airport pickup or drop off. And it's pretty cheap for those who may have a limited budget. It can be very affordable, actually. It's one of the way of staying here in Montreal at a very affordable price. So it's up to you. We can provide you with the link to the provider, so you will you can have a look by yourself at the rates, but and also the different options and all that. And yes, so that's a new thing to this year, and we are very happy because if you really want to speak French throughout the day for real, you can. Okay, morning in class, afternoon with the activities, and in the evening with the family. That could be a great adventure for you and a great way to actually improve your French. The prerequisites of the program. Well, not so many, but they are very important. First, it's open only to anyone of Quebec legal age. Legal age in Quebec is 18. So anyone younger than that is not accepted in the program. And we are sorry for that, but that's the way. So anyone 18 or older, and it can go up to very old age, okay? Last year, our oldest participant was 81, and it was fun. Like everyone is just, all together, and it's fun to have people with different life experiences. And so that's great. You're all welcome. So don't be alarmed if you think you're too old. You are not. But I have to say that there will be some physical activity. Why? In Montreal, people walk, I think, more than in most North American cities, even in Canada. It's a big city, but it's made for walking, okay? At least in the city center. And when we're going on a visit, we're going to walk to the visit or to take the bus, or at least to walk to the bus or walk to the metro, the subway. So just so you know, you have to be comfortable with that, with walking and standing in museums. Often in museums, we have the possibility to ask for a chair or a stool. So it's possible, but yes, so you know. And I must say that Montreal is not the best city for people with limited mobility as well. So, okay, so you know. And also, but you must know already that Montreal can be hot and humid in the summertime. So, as you can say, the visit in Habitat 67, that is the picture we're seeing on this slide, it's a place that can be hot at some points if it's if it's very hot or if it's very sunny. So, okay. That's what we ask. And the other thing, but you don't have anything to do about it, it's that there's no need for another book or, textbook or whatever, a document. No assessment will be conducted at the end of the week. It's we provide all the teaching material, so no problem with that. All we ask is actually the proof of level. So I gave you a little bit of insight into the levels we have for this program. The rules for you have to prove your level anyway, so we know where you should be. Okay, and you feel comfortable in the right class. That's the idea. If you're already enrolled at Alliance Française, be it in Lake Champlain region or anywhere else, you can ask them to send us a course certificate saying, okay, I've covered A1 level already, or A2 level already, or B1 level. And so they send it to us and we can put you in the right class. If you've taken a French exam in the recent months, Okay, so a DELF, a TCF, TEF, DFP. You can send us your grades report. That's important. Not just I've done it, your grades report, because we have to see where you stand within the level. Okay, so you can send it to us once you are enrolled in the program. And if you are in another situation, or it's been a while since you've actually followed the class, you can take an online free oral placement level assessment with our teaching staff. Okay, it could be with me, it could be with Kelly, with anyone else who is competent for that. And we will validate your oral skills. Okay, saying, okay, you are maybe a A2 level, like at least when you speak, your speaking skills are, and listening skills are A2, B1, B2, etc. It's free and it's like 10 to 15 minutes maximum. We send you the link and you choose when you want to have this online test, and it's easy and no problem with that. So how to enroll? Enroll, there's a mistake, sorry. Go to our website. Even if you're a Alliance Française Lake Champlain region student, you go to our website, you choose the weeks, you choose how many weeks you want to spend with us, and of course you pay, and you have a special discount code you have to enter to be offered 10% off the regular price. And yes, so that's what you do. The code is going to be provided by Alliance Française of Lake Champlain region. And we will send you then like the welcoming message and asking for your proof of level. And so to confirm the level you've enrolled in. If it's not the level you've enrolled at first, it's okay. We can change it. Okay, especially now, since the beginning of the enrolling system process, it's okay. We still have many weeks open, but as we come closer to the dates, it may be filled already, sold out. So that is not so possible at that time. So make sure you do it in advance, and you give us your proof of level in advance as well. So it's easier. So yeah, so why choose our program? It's an easy access from Vermont. It's French only, okay? We don't teach in English, we teach in French. And so even from A1 level. We focus on oral practice. We focus on Montreal and Quebec cultures. And it's a mix of free time, because you will have free time. It's not a supervised trip, okay? Like you can have in some other schools. You have the classes, you have some visits, and you're free to do whatever you like the rest of the time in the evening. I know that last year many groups had get-togethers, like at night. They would go to a bar, a cafe. They would visit other things by themselves with the group. They had lunch together. A lot of things are possible. So that's the spirit. Okay, a great atmosphere, small groups, experienced teachers. Okay, these are our normal teachers, regular teachers we have here at Alliance Française de Montréal. And the price, so I put the USD, the American dollars price, but the Canadian price, the one that will never change, is 890 Canadian dollars. Okay, for the general fare for the general public, with the 10% off, it's about 800 Canadian dollars. So yeah. Of course, what's excluded is the accommodation and the transportation to and from Montreal, and also most of the meals, except the first breakfast. We are going to share breakfast all together with croissant and pain au chocolat, tea and coffee the first morning. So it's like the welcoming breakfast. And we're going to have a farewell lunch as well the last day. So that's the two meals that are covered by the fare. But otherwise, it's on your own. You have plenty of options around the Alliance Française. You can bring your own stuff. You can buy in a supermarket or anything. Or maybe if you're in a host family, they may give you a lunchbox. Okay. Also, that can happen. And you can book up to 3 weeks in a row, because this year we have 3 cycles, let's call them that way. One in June, starting June the 8th, and one in July, and one in August, the first 3 weeks of August, the first 3 weeks of July. So it's to your liking. You can actually come once in June and you loved it so much that you come back in August. Wonderful. Yes. And what else can I say? Oh, before the questions, last week of June that we offer is actually a special week here in Quebec. So it's the week, I don't have the dates exactly, but it's around the 22nd, I think, of June. The 24th of June is the National Day of Quebec, La Saint-Jean. And it's a big thing, okay? Here, we don't work. Usually it's super sunny, everybody's out, everybody's in the parks, having picnics. There are concerts celebrating Quebec culture and language. Everybody has fleur de lis everywhere, like wearing blue and white, and it's very nice. You can see the Quebec culture in action, so it's very nice. So this day, we won't have a class because we are off. Legally, we cannot work. But it's a great way to actually discover the culture, okay? And there will be a makeup class on the Saturday. So the program, it's the only week during the program when it starts on a Monday and it ends on a Saturday, because the Wednesday is off because of this wonderful event. And it's the week when you have, I think, the jazz festival. So, and also Cirque du Soleil will be at Montreal at that moment. So that will be a good week for you to come, because you will have all these things happening. And so you will have plenty of opportunities to actually discover Montreal and the culture and the local culture and the big events of the summer, everything in 1 week. So that would be a nice option as well for you. But yeah, so I don't know if you had many questions to Kelly already or not, but I can take other questions if needed. I don't know, you can... okay, I see that I'm discovering the conversation, so nice. Very cool. Alors, so there's one with Barbara. Okay, so Barbara, I can, if you want to ask, okay, active le micro. You can actually unmute and see if it happens, if we can hear you. Barbara. I don't know if we can't hear you, but I don't know if you... Alors. I don't... Okay. You put your hand down. Is there any other questions, comments?
Oh, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry. I'm not familiar with Teams and my chat isn't working.
No problem.
So I am definitely interested in your program. My husband and I want to attend.
Okay.
He's in the A1 level group, and then I'm finished A2, started B1, but I'd like to be in the A2. Now, online, you have them separated, but on your presentation, you had them together. Are they, in fact, going to be 2 separate classes?
It's going to be 2 separate classes, because the skills are not the same, but you'll be reunited in the afternoon for the visits.
Okay, that was my other question.
Yeah. So yes, you will come together at the same time in the morning. You can have lunch together because you will finish at the same time, and in the afternoon you'll be together as well. So no problem with that. yes, but you will be in different groups in the morning.
In the morning, but we come together for the cultural for the A1, A2 people. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions? Or I can see you already asked Kelly a lot of things, so that's nice. So yeah. Anyway, if you don't have any other questions, it's okay. Should you have more questions or you want to know more, or there are things you haven't quite understood today, it's okay. You can ask, actually, you can send us a message here in Montreal, okay? You can ask also Alliance Française, Lake Champlain region, if you had things, but the simplest thing, the most simple thing is actually to ask us directly, okay? You can say that you've attended the webinar with me and that you have questions about the program, and we will reply as fast as we can. And that's very important that you don't have any doubts about what's going on. I put the info, the general email for you if you want to ask us questions. And yeah, that's the main information that I had for you today. And I hope it gave you like a bit of a taste, le goût, to come and visit us this summer. And yes, I don't know if I'm speaking for you, Patsy, but if you had any like questions, you want an actual feedback from someone who have done the program, you can ask Patsy Jamison, and she will tell you. And there are many other people who did it, so you can ask them, I guess, for their feedback. And yes, if you don't have any, yeah, thank you, Patsy. And so yes, that's cool. And yeah, so I hope you had a good time with us today. I'm happy I talked to you. And don't hesitate if you have any other questions. And I hope we see you this summer. And thank you very much for being here with us today. And I wish you a very nice week and see you later. Bye bye. Au revoir. Merci beaucoup. À bientôt. Au revoir. Au revoir. Au revoir.